السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Madam Chair, Commissioners, Lead Counsel, Assistant Lead Counsel, audience and viewers out there, good morning and welcome to our daily proceedings of this Commission of Inquiry into local government councils and related matters. For our next item on our today's agenda, I now have the honor to yield the floor to Madam Chair. Madam Chair, over to you.
Good morning to you all. May I now call on Honorable Sila to lead us in Muslim prayers and Honorable Joanna to lead us in Christian prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين ورثا واسعا مباركا وأمل طويل وسعة البدن اللهم افتح قلوبنا بالعلم أعوذ بالله من شر النساء ومن سيء الشياطين والسلطان الله إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما برحمة اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Gracious Spirit, Holy Ghost, we appreciate you each day for your manifold blessings. Grant us deeper insights and knowledge to go through the day. Come into our hearts to stay. Direct our affairs. Let your purpose and plans for us stand. And may your divine grace continue to abide with us now and forevermore. Amen.
Registrar, can you please call the witness?
Good morning and welcome, Mr. Witness. You may kindly sit down. Mr. Witness, may I remind you again, before you continue your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into local government councils and related matters, that you are still under oath for continuation of your testimony.
Okay.
Thank you. Madam Chair, the floor is all yours.
Good morning, Mr. Baji.
Good morning, Ma.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Council, can we proceed? Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Commissioners. Good morning, Mr. Baji. How are you?
I'm doing good. And how are you too?
I am all right.
Great.
Yes, so let us discuss the issue of making overpayments in your department. Are you aware of any?
Overpayments?
Yes, to contractors, suppliers.
No, I'm not aware of those.
You've had access to the audit report?
Yes, I have access to the audit report.
Were you familiar with the Green Vision project?
No,
Where were you by that time?
I was at the office.
So you don't know whether the area council had any award being given to Green Vision for the construction of a road?
Yes, of course I knew about that.
So why do you know that why did you say you don't know about the Green Vision project?
There are transactions.
Yes.
You said that no, because their transactions are not directly under me, and I was not aware when they were making these transactions.
So who was conducting the financial transactions?
Certainly the director of finance.
That's Lamin Suso.
That's Lamin Suso.
So
yes.
you have not conducted any financial transaction when it comes to Green Vision?
No.
Yes. So there were overpayments made to Green Vision. But before I proceed to that, did you take part in any financial transaction involving any company that had been awarded a contract?
Except with the 5C.
5C.
Yes.
So how are payments made generally to 5C?
5C we gave them a part payment.
You give them
A part payment of $800,000.
part payment.
Part payment,
So
yes.
are these based on agreements you've had with companies that you are supposed to pay?
Yes.
I first want to understand your understanding as to how your department would be effecting payment to a company that is rendering service to your institution. What is the process?
The process is depending on the agreements.
Yes.
If the agreement says they are going to pay 3 times before the completion of the project, that is how it will be done. And equally to with the 5C2, the arrangement was they are also going to be given a percentage.
Yes.
But unfortunately, these percentages were not paid on time until of recent, when all their machines were seized. Then that was the time arrangements were made, and then we were able to pay them $800,000.
So, for instance, when the agreement says, let's say a particular company should be paid $1 million every 3 months, then at the end of the first quarter, how do you effect payment?
It depends on how the agreement is made.
Yes.
Sometimes it can be 1/3, it can be 1/4.
Yes.
But I am not privy to all those documents.
No. In general, what should be the procedure in paying an awardee, a company that had been given an award, for example, to construct, let's say, a road? Let's say every month they have to be paid $10,000. How is this payment effected? What do you put into consideration?
Depending on the agreement.
Yes.
If the agreement says that they are going to be paid on 1/3 of the agreement,
Yes.
that is what is to be paid.
Yes.
Yes.
So then you will raise payment vouchers and all that?
Then payment vouchers are raised, yes.
In line with the agreement?
In line with the agreement.
So the amount in the agreement that has been agreed to is what will be raised?
Yes.
For payment?
Yes.
In your capacity as the finance manager, have you ever made any overpayments?
No, I have not.
Is there any room or any chance that you will make overpayments?
No.
Why is that?
Because I'm not involved in the direct payments.
No. Let's assume you are involved in direct payments. That's what I'm talking about right now. So if you look at the contract agreements and you know exactly how much you're supposed to pay a particular company, I am saying that then there is no room to overpay that company. Is that not the case?
Yes, that's the case, because already it is documented, so there should be no circumstances where the person should be overpaid.
Yes.
Because
so,
already
exactly. So the audit report which we were discussing on page 35, can you turn to page 35? Are you there?
No, not yet.
Page 35, 7.5 is the,
7.5, huh?
yeah, the page is 35. The heading is marked 7.5, overpayment of $2,064,295 is 20 bottles to Green Vision.
7.4, huh?
7.5, page 35.
What is the amount?
You will see overpayment of $2,064,295 is 20 bottles to Green Vision. Do you see it?
No, not yet.
You have not seen that?
No, I've not seen that yet.
Are you?
Overpayment, yes, I have. Overpayment, yes, I have seen it.
Yes. Now, I will read for you. It says that during the review of the contract documents of Basse Area Council, we noted that the council awarded Lot 1 contract to Green Vision for the construction of roads at Bajakunda at an amount of $3,928,405. However, a review of the council's bank statement revealed that $5,992,700 is 20 buttons was paid to Green Vision instead, and yet still the Green Vision is claiming for arrears of $395,000. Now, this particular overpayment to Green Vision, we have had evidence from Green Vision themselves saying that the finance director will overpay them and then now call them and come and collect cash. Do you understand? But you are saying that the issue of overpayment should not even arise because there is a contract that will state clearly how much a particular company should be paid.
Yes.
So if you overpay a particular company repeatedly, will that be justifiable?
Well, as I said, I was not involved in the payment.
No, forget about this. I'm not referring to you making these overpayments. I am asking you questions based on your expertise as a finance manager.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Yes. So not about you making these payments. I had already told you, Green Vision, they gave evidence before this commission, and they had said the finance director was overpaying them consistently and will now call them and inform them that they were overpaid and will come to their office to collect cash, and then some money will be transferred to his account.
I'm not aware of that.
I know, but I want to see your reaction to that. You had told us, haven't you, that there was no room for overpayment?
Yeah, if that is the, maybe that may, I cannot say, maybe they would be in the best position to answer those questions.
No. You had told us there is no room for overpayment. Is that not the case?
Yes.
So if this is to occur, then that will be very abnormal.
Absolutely.
And it will be very wrong.
Absolutely.
Because there is no room for overpayment.
Absolutely.
Good. So turn to page 36. There was also another incident of an overpayment. Says overpayment of $100,000 to Yoro Kurubali. Do you know Yoro Kurubali?
Yes, I know Yoro Kurubali in passing.
Who is Yoro Kurubali?
Yoro Kurubali lives in he lives in Kobakunda.
Do you know the nature of the business Kazul had with Yoro Kurubali?
No, never.
Now, Yoro Kurubali was paid over $100,000 again. It says in October 2020. By the time you were there?
Yes, I was there.
Did you take part in these particular financial transactions?
No.
It says Basse Area Council decided to purchase a reconditioned Toyota pickup at an agreed price of $850,000. Were you aware of this?
No, I was not aware.
At any given point in time?
No.
Did you purchase a pickup in 2020?
I saw the pickup, but I was not aware of the transaction.
Did you see a pickup that was purchased in 2020?
Yes.
Who informed you a pickup was purchased?
I am at the council there. If anything comes there, then I will know.
No, you have been telling me that you know about so many things.
No, but in this particular that you are asking me, you
Yes.
are asking me whether I was aware of that the purchase of this pickup. I said no. You said, but I said yes, but I have seen the pickup.
So what is the process in raising payment vouchers and effecting payments in your office? Are there instances where in the finance director alone will be raising payment vouchers and then conducting payment without you knowing?
No, that's not possible.
That's not possible.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because it has to go. It has to go some procedures.
Okay. Can you Can you tell us these procedures?
That is the procurement.
Please speak louder.
The procurement
Yes.
would have to raise the payment,
Yes.
and it will go to Mr. Keru, that is
Yes.
the PO. Who will prepare the purchase order,
Yes.
and then finally it will the voucher will go back to them,
Yes.
and then final checks will be drawn by Lamin, and then both of them would sign,
Yes.
and payment would be effected.
So what is your role in that?
I have
As
no
the finance manager,
I have no role in that.
you don't take part in at any given point in time regarding payments being made.
No.
That is your evidence.
Yes, that's my evidence.
So, but you had asked you whether it is possible that you may not know. You said no, it's not possible.
Yes.
I'm not sure whether you are getting me right. I had asked whether it is possible that the Director of Finance will conduct a financial transaction without you knowing as the finance manager. Is that possible?
Can you repeat your question, please?
Whether the Director of Finance can conduct a financial transaction without you knowing.
Yes.
So, and then this $100,000 is you had no knowledge about it.
No knowledge about it.
The 2 million, you had no knowledge about it.
No knowledge about it.
So the $100,000 is, can you read what it was for?
The management respond?
No, what was the payment for? If you look at the table.
It was an overpayment.
Yes, but for what?
No, absolutely, I don't know why that should have been done.
For trucks, the purchase of trucks. That's what I'm talking about.
The process of?
The purchase of the Hilux pickup truck.
Can you repeat that question so that I
The
respond
table
to-
shows you that Yellow Crew Bali was, they purchased a Hilux pickup truck from Yellow Crew Bali. And your department were making overpayments to Yellow Crew Bali.
Yes.
And I had asked whether that is normal.
No, that's not normal.
There is no excuse for that.
There's no excuse for that.
Now, back to the Alatento account of the finance director.
Yes.
What job does he do, Mr. Suzo?
As I said yesterday, he said he deals land.
And then, do you know about that for a fact?
No, I don't know about that.
Do you have any evidence to actually convince yourself that he engages in land business?
No, I have no idea.
How do you know that he operates a trust bank account?
Eco Bank account.
Sorry, EcoBank account.
No, I only knew it when he sent me to withdraw and deposit.
That's that was the first transaction.
Yes, that was the first transaction.
And then there were a series of situations wherein he was sending you to withdraw and make deposit as well.
Exactly.
And then since the first time he told you he has a business that was sufficient for you to engage in those transactions.
Yes.
How are you sure at any given point in time that the monies that he has been giving you during working hours were not monies being taken from council's account?
Because if that was so,
Yes.
then there should be a question over that.
Like what?
How did he obtain those monies? Because he cannot obtain those monies alone.
Alone?
Alone, yes. Because
Okay.
because the bank, you cannot withdraw from bank when there are two signatories.
Okay. So who are the two signatories?
The CEO and then Lamin.
So if it is from council's account, that it must have been a collusion between him and the CEO.
Yes.
All right. And then another instance as well, it also must have been revenues being taken from revenue collectors, as we have seen. Taken from revenue collectors, as we have seen evidence of.
At his deposits at his account?
Yes.
Which revenue collectors would that be?
It must have been monies taken from revenue collectors.
Specifically?
Yes. What do you mean?
Specifically to deposit that into his account?
No. Do you not know that the finance director collects revenue from the revenue collectors?
Yes, I knew about
That is my point. I'm saying on the first limb, or on the other hand, these are monies that may have been taken from or being withdrawn from the account of the area council together with the CEO, as you have suggested. Is that not the case?
Yes.
And on the second limb, it is possible that these are monies as well that he had taken from revenue collectors.
Not certain,
Why?
because I have not seen him, taking money and then depositing them.
Did
even
you
if
not-
even if you have taken money from the collectors, I cannot certain whether that is exact money that is put into his account.
The monies, they don't have names, like, as in they don't have, they will not tell you that this is the very amount that has been taken from Mr. Patrick Gomez or Mr. John Mendy or so on and so forth.
This is why I said I will not know that.
No, but in your statement you have told us that you have witnessed incidents wherein monies were given to him.
Yes,
So
but the money that were also deposited into his account, I cannot also certain whether they were cancelled.
they don't have to be the same money. You don't even have to ascertain whether it was the same money. All you needed to do was to have a reasonable suspicion of the very fact that what you have been asked to do does not make sense, because if you have seen him take money from the revenue collectors and you had told us that it was wrong, or is that right?
Yes,
Is that right?
yes. No, that was not right.
Exactly. So if he had engaged in those practices, and then in turn you will be given monies to deposit in his account,
Okay.
how do you reconcile these two? And you had no evidence of him engaging in any legitimate business.
I will not easily be able to verify those accounts.
That was why you shouldn't have done that in the first place. That was why you shouldn't have aided him in trying to take council's funds and put it in his own account. Because you know nothing. If you are as clean as you are saying, then you should not have done that.
Yes, I should not have done that at an official hours, absolutely, to deposit monies into his account.
Yes.
But then certainly, as I said, I cannot also be able to authenticate whether these monies were council's account.
That is why you shouldn't have done that. That's my point.
Exactly, this is what I'm saying.
Unless you're doing it together, if you are acting as a reasonable person, you would not have done that. I will conclude you cannot be expected to have done that within official hours, taking monies from your finance director and depositing that same money to his personal account
I agreed.
during working hours.
I agreed.
That should raise a reasonable suspicion.
I agreed I should not have done that. But
Exactly.
as I said, I have also inquired, and what he told me was he is dealing land, and I have not suspected that huge amount to have come from the revenue collectors or to have come from the council account.
Why would that amount not have come from the council account?
Because I have not seen so far any collector who would collect that huge amount and then be giving it to him.
What is the highest amount that the collector can collect for a day?
It depends on
Let's
from $100,000.
exactly.
But
this is the same amount that you have been transacting in his account.
But those particular collectors too, when they come,
No. Is this not the same range of amount that you have been transacting from his account to council's account?
yeah. But if that is so,
Is that not the same range?
But if that is so,
Is that not the same range? First,
It's the same
answer,
range.
and then you proceed.
it's the same rate.
Exactly.
But if that is going to happen, I was going to detect that from the revenue collectors,
How?
because they will be coming to me for submission.
No. Manku Mane, did you detect that he was collecting he was collecting revenue while on leave?
No, I did not suspect.
How?
Because he did not come to submit to me.
That's it. Because you do not have interest in conducting your supervisory role. You don't do that. Because you know exactly what is happening. When his machine was later found, the automated machine was later found, and there were evidence of transactions being conducted. Did you know about them before?
Yes, I knew about that at the later part.
Exactly. So what are you talking about?
But when
Did you not tell us that with respect to the $118,000 is being collected by the finance director, that you don't know anything about that?
yes,
So why are you telling us now you would have known? Then you must have known that monies were given to him.
yes,
Exactly. That's the point. Any quick questions for the witness?
Yes. Just to take Mr. Baji a day back. The figure you struck out on the evidence document, the 53,000, why did you scratch it?
No, that was just an oversight. I never knew.
No. Why did you scratch it?
It was a mistake. I never knew it was not supposed to.
No. It was not a mistake. It was intentional.
No, it was
You
not.
saw a figure and you scratched it.
No, that figure was.
Is that a mistake?
It was written in the paper, and that has no relationship with the.
No. Please. I'm saying of your action. I'm not saying of the figure on the paper. Your action on the paper is what I'm asking.
It was wrong.
It was wrong.
It was wrong, yes. But
Now,
I later detected that what I did was wrong.
Okay. Now, if I put it to you that you knew the reason for that figure to be on that paper,
No, I don't know.
then why did you scratch it? Why didn't you just leave it as it is?
Because that one has no relationship with the one that was typed.
No. But that's not your business. You were asked to confirm a figure that was typed. You saw a handwritten figure and you scratched the handwritten figure.
I apologize for that. I said that was,
Yes,
that was not to be done.
because you wanted us not to know what the handwritten figure is.
No, not necessarily.
But your action was deliberate.
No, it was not deliberate, sir.
It just came off the cuff for you to scratch it.
Yeah, it just come to my mind to scratch, but I never knew that if I should have scratched it, that would be a problem. Otherwise, I would have.
No. You knew it because you thought we would not notice that you had scratched a figure that was on that paper.
No, sir.
Then why did you do it?
Unknowingly that it was not going to be a problem.
Do you want me to believe that?
Anyway, that's my take. If I knew that I should not have scratched it, and it was going to give me a problem, I also have going to do it.
But you were not asked about that figure. You were asked about something else.
Yeah,
right?
but yes, he was asking me about that figure underneath. So I scratched it. I said, no, that figure has no relationship with the typed one.
And you scratched it.
I scratched it.
But
yes.
that's deliberate then.
Yes, if that is what you
Okay.
if that is what you take, it's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
But I have not done it. I have not done it willfully and assuming that I have done something wrong.
Mr. Baji,
Yes, ma'am.
it was stated in the report that the withdrawals that were made by the finance team was to be refunded. Are these monies refunded?
No, they are not refunded.
Even though the management said it was going to refund it?
Yes.
Okay.
I also have. Let me submit my letter against that letter.
Now, Mr. Baji, as at the last 2 months, how much revenue have you collected?
Sorry, let me just hand over this information to you. Okay, you can take those ones. Those ones are later. Can I tender all these documents?
Yes, please. Just put them all together and give it to me. Give it to me. No, give it to me. Now, I asked a question. I said, how much revenue did you collect the last 2 months?
No, the last 2 months I was not actively in the office, and as of now I am on administrative leave.
No, can you please state that again? I did not get it.
I said in the last 2 months I was not active at the office, and as of now I am on administrative leave.
When you say administrative leave, what do you mean by that?
I have just copied you to exactly what that might mean.
No, I am asking you to tell us.
Yes, this resolution was passed by the councillors through the permanent secretary, that we were, involved, in financial dealings of the council. So as a result of that, we should go for administratively before the investigation will be completed.
So are you receiving any form of salary?
No, not yet.
And who is acting in your stead? Mr. Baji, who is acting in your position? Is anybody acting in your position?
No, I don't think.
Whilst we are waiting for the consuls to decipher the documents that you have presented, I just want to ask you a question. As acting finance manager, you said your role is just receipting. That's all you do as an acting finance manager.
No.
Your major role is receipting.
No.
And to monitor, you say here, to monitor the how should I put it? Receipting all revenue, monitoring all revenue collectors, control register of license team, and I guess you are the one who would normally look at the counterfoils. So tell us exactly, what is your primary responsibility?
My primary responsibility is receipting of all incomes of the council, and also to monitor and supervise the revenue collectors.
That's your main task?
Responsibility, yes.
So as an acting finance manager and second to the director of finance, or the immediate person to the director of finance, financial transactions involving the council, you don't play any hand in it?
In my statement, I said, and of any other assignment given to me by the director.
No, please. And any other, okay.
Assignment, yes.
Assignment given to you by the director of finance.
Yes.
And one of the assignments is for you to take monies from one account and pay it into another account.
No.
But you did it at the behest of the director of finance.
Yes, as I said, that was, his personal,
No, I'm just saying, but that was during working hours.
Exactly, yes.
And you are doing, is it that quote unquote, you are doing him a favor to withdraw from his current account, personal account, pay it into the council's account, and then withdrawing, that same moment, withdrawing $500,000. That was other assignments assigned to you by the director of finance.
Yes.
And that is not part of your primary role as an acting finance manager.
Exactly, yes.
And you also would step in as a director of finance when he is not on seat.
Yes.
Now, how can you tell us now that there are transactions in the thousands, in the millions, that you as acting finance manager don't know anything about?
Because if they were to have been, if I was to have suspected that these revenues were council revenues, it was not have going to be done like that. Because I have not seen any collector so far who would work that huge amount of money and then be depositing and then be withdrawing from them and then depositing into Lamin's account.
You will not be there at the material time, but council has just told you the range and you have accepted that this is the range. Not so.
Yes.
Now, what we are trying to ascertain is that, are you an errand boy of the Director of Finance?
No.
Now, why do you go and do certain work that is not part of your duty for the Director of Finance?
I accept that doing that wrong. But Lamin has also written, in effect to that as well, the letter I have just sent the corresponding letter.
We will see what he wrote.
Okay.
But you have answered my question.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you to us.
Mr. Baji,
Yes, ma'am.
do you know whether the 26,894,181.02 has been paid, which was loans taken by the council from the various banks? Has it been repaid?
Can I hear you clearly?
I said the 26,894,181.
Are you looking at the report?
Yes,
Which page?
29.
That's
Yeah.
which 6.7 or which? Because I'm not seeing the corresponding. 7.2.
Page 29.
I'm not seeing the pages here clearly. So unless we will.
7.2.
7.2. Yes.
Have these loans been repaid to the various banks that they cancelled to?
Yes, as stated.
I said, have these monies been paid back to the bank?
No, I cannot. I don't know about that.
Did you go through this report?
Yes, I'm just looking at the response.
Did the council repay the 15 million it took from Supersonics Microfinance?
Whether?
The council has repaid the 15 million it took from Supersonics also?
No, it is in progress.
Huh?
It is in progress.
The council is paying.
It's paying, yes.
And how much is the balance now?
No, I cannot. I don't know the balance.
But for the 26 million, you have no idea?
Well, no, I have no idea.
Yes, council.
Just two issues. The first is the issue that I raised yesterday, that the commissioners had a run with you on. It is the issue regarding the variance in revenue collected amounting to 37 million plus. Do you recall?
The variance, huh?
Yes, yes.
Amounting to?
37 million.
Can you refer me to?
Page 41.
7 point what?
7.10.
7.10, okay.
Yes, so we were discussing about the variance. We have said that 2020 there was a variance of $12,138,756.81.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And whilst the estimated amount is $39,774,731.57. In 2021, you have a variance of 10 million, but the estimated amount still remains almost the same. Is that not correct?
Yes.
And 2022 as well, not substantially different. The estimated amount of revenue to be collected is about $40,998,637.05.
Yes.
Then you collected 26,325,829 and 72 bullets.
Yes.
Then the variance is $14 million. If you now accumulate the in the 3 years, that will now give you the amount of almost $38 million.
Yes.
Now, you will at the beginning of every year conduct a survey to know exactly how much revenue should be collected.
Yes.
in a particular area.
Mm-hmm.
So this data,
Mm-hmm.
is it an accurate data of how much revenue should be reasonably estimated?
Yeah, just as I said yesterday, this was an over-ambition. And of course, if you look at the percentage rate,
Yes.
at least it's more reasonable.
What is more reasonable?
If you look at the percentage, because this is an estimate that
Yeah.
we expect we are going to collect.
Yes.
An assessment was conducted, but unfortunately we were not able to collect this within the year, and that is as a result of non-compliance. And but if you look at it thoroughly, you will find out that from 39,774,731. If you look at that, we've almost collected 27 million. And then the variance is 12,138,000.
Yes.
So if you look at the percentage collection of that, you will see at least we have gone to 69% of the of what we estimated. At least that.
And then, what does that mean?
That means that there are a lot of outstanding revenues at different,
First, I want to clear the point that even though it has been marked as an estimated revenue, but it's not just a mere projection. It is based on statistics. It's based on the fact that you have gone to the field and then you know exactly how much revenue should be collected in a particular year. Is that not the case?
Yeah, but if you look at this revenue too, it has not specified exactly which revenue is it. This is telling you the exact revenue that we expected.
Yes, but
if you look at the outstanding areas too, you have only heard of the rates and taxes yesterday. There is almost about $4 million.
No.
There are other areas too that has not also been collected, and they are still on outstanding.
the audit report for, let me read for you. It is dated the 21st day of June 2019, and it's for 2017 and 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Now you will see that there were areas in 2018 you've mentioned to the auditors that there were about $2,457,848 of arrears arising from rates and taxes.
Yes.
But the auditor is saying you can't even substantiate this. How do you arrive at the conclusion that there were arrears?
In the side of the
Yes.
areas and
The
taxes.
auditor had questioned that even coming up with a figure to say that there were arrears, there is no evidence to back it up. For example, let me just read it for you verbatim. He had said that we noted from our review a reported balance of $2,457,848 being arrears of rates and taxes as at 31st December 2018. However, there was no documentary evidence to confirm the assessment criteria used in determining the rates charged, nor was there any evidence of how they arrived at the said arrears figure, at the said area. So basically, you guys have no evidence whatsoever. You will take money, squander money, embezzle money, and then come up with a figure that this is the amount of money that is in arrears in relation to rates and taxes that we have not collected.
But I made myself clear yesterday.
What did you make?
That at the end of every year we conduct assessment
Yes.
of rates and taxes, and then we prepare Form B that is actual to report each village.
Yes.
And the district as a whole.
Yes.
And then I also prepare my Appendix C. That Appendix C will also include the total number of the total amount of money that is to be paid in the whole region.
Yes.
And then with that amount, I control them. Whatever they come for payments, I check them.
Every region, Appendix C will tell you how much is to be collected.
Yes.
That is why I said the estimated amount of revenue is not just a mere projection. It's based on facts.
No,
It's
but
based
the one
on.
that I am saying, that one is specifically on rates and taxes.
But that's how it works. You know how much you collect when it comes to rate and taxes. You know how much you collect when it comes to license and everything. You know, because at the beginning of the year you conduct this study. Is that not the case?
Yes.
That's it. So you cannot just come up with a figure and with a typed documentation and say that we did not collect revenue amounting to $2 million. That's what the auditor is saying. That
But
when it
as I
comes
am-
to finance, there had to be documents to prove it. So
But
how
as
will you prove to the commissioners that for a particular year there was about $2 or $4 million of uncollected revenue?
You can know that from the appendix C, the total expected revenue
Yes.
for the year.
Yes.
On what I am controlling,
Yes.
US and taxes and trade license. And trade license, as you would see in their balance sheet, is almost about 900,000 that remains uncollected. So if you add that to the $4 million that is here, it's almost going to 7 million.
Oh. See.
So at the same time too, there are other payments that are also
When the auditors come to audit, what do they ask for?
They ask for documents.
What kind of documents?
The entire revenue documents.
Like, give us an example. You've gone to collect revenue, you issue receipts, the revenues are being collected through a system. What documents do they ask for?
They ask for the control registers.
Yes.
And also they also ask for the ledgers too.
Yes.
And also the vouchers too.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So, no matter what kind of tabulation you have, if you don't provide this documentation, how can you establish that this were the areas?
It will be difficult.
That's the point.
Exactly.
That is the point. The point is these areas are not realistic. What is realistic is you use it as a cover-up for the financial malpractice in Basa Area Council.
No, I will not agree with that.
You should agree with that because you don't have evidence of that.
Yes, I don't have evidence, but I will not also have to agree that it was an evidence.
No, you don't have to agree, but you don't have evidence to disprove the findings of the auditor. That's my point. So when I saw you coming up with a figure, I was just laughing because it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Yes, and this explains how you will be doing some financial malpractices, going to deposit monies. All of you guys in the finance department, all of you going to deposit monies to the account of one person, your boss, as if you are employed by the finance director. And you think this is coincidence? Is this a coincidence? All these bundle of pieces here and there in Basa Area. What is happening there with respect to the financial state of Basa Area? Is that really something that you should be proud of?
No.
Exactly. So the other issue is with respect to the $51 million. We had asked that you will have to come back. So first you will deposit the vouchers and the supporting documents in relation to the 51 million. Because I want to give you the benefit of the doubt.
The 1.7.
The 51 million.
The 1.7, that concerns me. Yes,
I understand. The 51 million is all in one column. The finance department will do 51 million entirely. $1,795,406 is 80%. Is the one that you have withdrawn.
Yes.
Yes. So that's why I said I am going to give you a benefit of the doubt to come and provide the vouchers, and we will have to interview you. If you cannot establish that, if you don't provide time for that, of course, if you don't provide time to come up with these vouchers, we will have no choice but to arrive at the same conclusion that the auditor found.
Yes.
Do you understand that?
Yes, I understood.
Very well. That will be all for this witness.
Mr. Baji.
Yes.
Let's try to understand it. Let's go to the basics.
Okay.
Now, when people do financial projections, it should be based on a data, not so.
Yes.
Let's say there are 100 compounds in Gambisara.
Yes.
Each compound is to pay $10.
Yes.
That is $1,000. And that should be the financial projection, not so.
Yes.
If you're supposed to collect $1,000 and you collect $600, then there is a gap of $400 that is to be paid. Not so.
Yes.
So it's very simple. Now, when the auditors came, this appendix B and C, I would assume it is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Did you give the auditors this information for them to verify, to check the financial projection that you said the budget officer prepared?
No, they just as I said, I was not at work, but these are all copies too. They were all copies.
Let's do it this way. You see, in administration, it's not an individual, it's not about you, it's a system.
If you have allowed...
Wait. Whether you are there or not, work must continue. So if at all you are not there and certain information cannot be accessed, then I think the system have a problem. It's not about you, it's about the administration. What if, may God forbid, you die? What was going to happen? No more information? Does that mean that the entire unit will be shut down and then you start all over again, preparing new vouchers, new checks, new whatever? So what we are simply saying is, this appendix you are talking about, I'm just trying to confirm, make a follow-up of what Council Gomez just said. These are monies, and I assume that the financial projection that you did, that the budget officer did, was based on a data. It's not like he just closed his eye and said, 2 million for trade license, 4 million for tax. No, it doesn't work like that. So therefore, if you don't collect, then there is a fundamental problem, which you and I might not know, which I don't know, why you couldn't collect all these monies. So you fail to give them the information. And then that is why the author is saying that this failure to collect these monies is not justified, because there is no, as you say, appendix B and C available to them. If you are giving them the information, they shouldn't have reflected it on the report. Don't you agree?
Yes.
Thank you.
But you have also going to allow me to talk?
Yes, please.
In regard to what you are saying?
Yes.
Because it is true that some of these documents are not for my personal use. And if I prepare them, I don't keep these informations on my own. I share them. Mm-hmm. So automatically, when the audit comes and asks for it, it must have to be with the CEO or the Director of Finance, because I copy them. Mm-hmm. So the informations are shared. I am not the only person who will keep this information. If I establish it, I will send it to respective officers.
Let me just wind it up. Now, you say you were sick, to the extent where you cannot get up and give out these documents to the auditors. Didn't you know that failure to give these auditors these documents, it will result to what is happening today?
This is what I said.
Thank you.
This is what I emphasized yesterday. I said the coming of the auditors is of my great interest, because whatever they are coming to do is to my advantage.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Baji.
Yes, ma'am.
For how long have you been sent on administrative leave?
Well, the time is not specified. They said until after the end of the investigation.
But since when have you been sent?
Oh, I think that was about I've just sent you the copy last month. I have just sent the copy of the leave, yes.
Is it on full salary?
No, I don't think. Maybe I have not received myself, but I guess I believe it should be half salary.
But you were given a letter?
Yes, I was given a letter.
And what is in the letter?
Can I confirm it?
Yes, please.
No, okay. What happened when I came to collect this letter? I could not. I was not privileged to see the letter itself, but I was sent to in WhatsApp.
So you mean you didn't see the letter at all?
No, the letter, I understood the letter was there, and a colleague have sent a copy of that. So when I went to collect this letter from the CEO, he referred me to go to the Director of Finance. I went to the Director of Finance, also said he is with the CEO. So I could not, I could not really receive the letter, but I knew from a WhatsApp that two of us are mentioned in the letter. So I relied on that.
Well, was that a sensible move?
No, it was not a sensible. No, I should have been given my letter.
And act on it.
And act on it, yes. In fact, I think I went for this letter on 2 occasions, but I was never privileged to receive it up to now.
So you don't even know what is in the letter?
Of course I knew what is in the letter, because I have a copy from my colleague in my WhatsApp.
Any other question from the commissioners?
We will look at what he has sent, and if we deem it necessary to admit some of these documents, we will do so.
I have a few questions when the chairperson has done.
Okay.
Okay. Morning, Mr. Badger.
Morning, ma'am.
How are you? So yesterday we were discussing the contract with 5C Energy, and initially you had said that you did not know what the arrangement was, and you had specifically said that there was no payment made from 2020, 2021, 22, 23 to date. There was no payment made to the company, 5C Energy. But today you're telling my colleague that there was a payment of 800,000 that was made.
Yeah, I said payments were not done since in 2020, 2021, and 2022. It was of recent, just
No,
about
you
5
said there
months.
were no payments made. I asked you specifically.
Yesterday,
More than once.
Yesterday I mentioned 800,000 was paid to them.
You didn't mention 800,000.
Okay, then
You
may
said
I
there was no payment made.
Then may I correct myself? $800,000 was paid to them.
When was it paid?
This was just no, I did not have the reference document with me.
What is the reference document that you're looking for?
My handing over notes to Lamin Suso when he resumed from leave. The transactions I made.
So you made the transaction paying the 800,000.
Yes.
And who raised the voucher for that payment?
The procurement officer.
And what year was the payment made?
What the payment?
What year was the payment made?
The payment was made in 2023.
Was what?
Was made in 2023.
2023.
Yes.
Is that the first payment that was made?
Yes, I believe so.
And what was outstanding?
The outstanding, no, absolutely I cannot, unless I see the document.
And the 800,000, what percentage of the amount due to the contractor was it?
No, I don't know I don't know the percentage.
So today you said that there was a percentage that was to be paid to the contractor.
Yes.
What is that percentage?
Because this payment were almost to We're almost to 4 million.
What payment were almost 4 million?
That was to be paid to 5C. And it is from that, sorry for that, let me, just want to see my hand in the sorry, let me just. I did not have that document with me, but I supply you the date and the check number, and also the amount of the involved in the check.
So you said the payment was supposed to be 4 million.
Yeah, almost.
Was that the total payment that was due to 5C?
Yes.
Okay, and then you paid 800,000 to them.
Yes.
So that 4 million, it was supposed to be for what duration? For how many years?
That depends on the agreement made in the document.
So have you seen that agreement before?
No, I have not seen that agreement before.
So how do you know that the amount due is for about 4 million?
Because I was told by my CEO and the director of finance that we owe them almost about $4 million.
And when they were asking you to make the payment, what were you told?
We were told that I was told that we are still in balance of payment for them.
Okay. And what did they tell you the payment was supposed to be towards? The voucher that raised the payment, what did it say?
No, the voucher that would be purely, I have already handled over those. I have indicated that part payment was made to 5C, $500,000, and then the balance of payment was also indicated should also be indicated in the voucher.
You've now said $500,000.
800,000. I'm sorry for that. Yes.
So does the council have a development fund account? What kind of accounts does the council have? Bank accounts?
Yes, they have development account, but I don't think that one is, properly cared.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do you have? You have a general account where everything goes into?
Yes.
And everything comes out of that?
Yes.
So which account is that one?
FIB.
FIB, now Vista.
Vista, yes. Now Vista, yes. But sometimes we can pay them from other banks as well. Trust bank.
So which funds go into the other banks?
Specifically, rates and taxes goes to Vista Bank, and daily market also goes to Vista Bank. Land transfers, occupancies goes to Supersonic, and rates and taxes goes to Ajib.
You just said rates and taxes goes to Vista.
Yes, rates and taxes goes to, license goes to Vista, and rates and taxes goes to Ajib. Sometimes they may change them at any time.
So what goes to Trust Bank and what goes to EcoBank?
Can I hear you well?
What goes to Trust Bank and what goes to EcoBank?
Most of the time, the government subvention and most of the payment from institutions and companies goes to Trust Bank, and government rates and taxes also goes to Trust Bank, and I believe the car park too also goes to the Trust Bank.
So who decides which accounts these funds go to?
The management.
When you say management, who do you mean?
The CEO and Director of Finance.
So does the council have a finance committee?
Yes.
Who's on the committee?
No, I cannot remember those ones offhand.
Who pays the sitting allowances?
It depends on.
So give me what it depends on and who it depends on. Give me
The cashier pays them.
Who raises the voucher?
The cashier would make the vouchers.
So the cashier makes the vouchers and pays them himself?
Yes, and pays them
So who
himself.
verifies the vouchers?
Who?
Who verifies or signs off on the voucher that the cashier raises?
The CEO and the Director of Finance. Before payments are effected, both of them have to sign and payments are effected.
And do the recipients sign anything to indicate that they've received their allowances?
Very normal.
No, I'm asking you, do they?
Yes.
Okay. And what document is that?
The payment voucher, because it's where all their names will be listed. The minutes of their meeting also will be listed. Their contact number will be there, and then a special voucher will be prepared for where all their names are indicated, and they sign there against their names.
So none of those pass through your office? None of those documents pass through your office?
No, none of those documents pass through my office.
Because
just as I said, they would have going to pass through me, but since when the IFMIS was introduced, I cannot go into two operations, and this is why purely Modlamin Keru is responsible of the cashier would pay, and then submit this document, the vouchers to Modlamin Keru, for Modlamin Keru also to prepare their other vouchers from the system, from IFMIS too.
What vouchers does Modlamin Keru need to prepare?
He will collect the information from the initial voucher that is prepared by the cashier.
Which types of vouchers are these?
These are just prepared documents.
No. So Modlamin Keru is licensed supervisor.
But he also prepares the purchasing orders for payments as well from his system.
Purchasing orders for what? Give me examples.
Like if they want the payment to be in the IFMI system, those vouchers has to be taken to him so that he inputs them, and he also signed to have received that voucher and then inputted them in his system.
Is that part of his terms of reference?
No, more like, because it is two responsibilities.
Which are those two?
It is two different responsibilities. So, and then one person cannot be able to do all these works at the same time. So this is why purely I concentrated on receipting, and he concentrated on preparing vouchers through the IFMI system.
So what I'm asking, you said there's two responsibilities that he's carrying out. Licensed supervisor and what?
Licensed supervisor, responsible of market and canteens, and the LUMOS.
So he inputs the vouchers for what? Those? Because you said purchase orders.
Whether he input vouchers?
What vouchers does he input in the IFMES system?
The one that the one that is paid.
The one that is what?
The one that is to be paid for on finance committee members, as you explained. Before the payment will be done, he will also take the voucher and then input it. Then he will give it back to LABA, and that will affect payments.
So, does he do that for only the finance committee, or it's for all the council committees?
All the council committees.
Do you know which committees the council has in existence?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me?
Establishment committee.
Okay.
Accounts committee. Audits and accounts committee.
Okay.
Education committee.
Okay.
What else? Establishment committee.
Yeah, you already said that.
I've given you that.
Those are the three? Do you have a contracts committee?
Contracts committee, yes.
Okay.
Audit and finance committee.
You've said that.
I've said that. So far, I think these are the ones that I can remember.
Do you have a development committee?
Yes, development committee, yes. Thank you very much for reminding me of that.
Are those the only ones you can remember? So, when you're doing your estimates for the year, who do you provide the estimates to for the upcoming year? So you have the actuals, so you're preparing the ones for 2024, you have the actuals for 2023, and you have the projected ones for 2024. When you prepare it, who do you give it to?
We give to the Director of Finance for the budget officer.
So why do you not give it to the budget officer?
That can also be done.
Who do you give it to? You only give it to the Director of Finance. Have you ever given it to the budget officer?
No, for all information that I should have provided for the Director of Finance, already he has also have that he also accesses those informations at at his system. So normally, if he wants any information from me, equally he also have the same information. He can always get the information from his level.
Does the budget officer have access to that information?
Yes.
He's on the system as well and can view it.
Yes.
So when in the year do you start preparing those documents? The estimated revenue and expenditure.
Some years back it was in December, but we understood that was a wrong time, and then we now prepared in June, July.
Have you prepared the ones for the next year?
Yes, they are in the process.
And when did you prepare the ones for 2023?
No, I cannot remember that.
So if you're preparing it in June, July, so you prepared the ones for 2023 in June or July of 2022, how accurate are the actuals?
Well, that will be for 6 months.
Okay. And I think we'd gone through this previously. You would check the different, so if it's for licenses, you check the list of people that are supposed to pay trade licenses.
Yes.
And how much they're supposed to pay, and that will give you an estimate for the year.
Yes.
That's coming.
Yes.
Okay. And that's the same for rates and taxes.
Yes.
And every other expenditure, well, every other revenue line that the council collects.
Yes.
Now, your license tariff, which one do you use?
The licensing tariff. The 2011 amended one.
2011 amended one.
Yes.
Now, we had one of your revenue collectors, or one of your colleagues who was here, and he was telling us the figures that he collects for some institutions. And there seemed to be a discrepancy between what is actually collected and what is on the tariff. And it appeared that there's a different tariff from what's on the 2011 one, because he was saying the figures on the 2011 tariff are erroneous.
Do you have the tariff with you?
The registrar is going to give it to you. So before you get the tariff,
Yes,
do you
I
know
have-
how much
I have one.
you have one? Okay, how much does the council charge banks for trade license?
For trade license. $150,000.
It's 150,000.
Yeah.
Is that what's on your tariff?
No, I have not seen it, but that is what I used to be receiving them, 150,000.
And do you have foreign exchange bureaus in Basse?
No, we don't have foreign exchange bureaus.
You have money transfer dealers?
Yes.
How much do you charge them?
7,500.
7,500.
Yes.
And do you have insurance companies?
Yes.
How much do you charge them?
Insurance companies are charged at 15,000.
So if you check, those are the figures that the witness gave. But if you check the tariff, the 2011 tariff, on the banks, the amount is $16,000 that should be charged per annum.
On the bank, huh?
Have you seen it?
No, I have not seen it yet.
Can you check and confirm? Banks are under number 1, financial institutions.
Yes.
Have you seen the amount?
Yes, I've seen the amount.
How much is it?
15,000. I'm seeing 15,000 from here.
I'm seeing 16. I don't know whether it's the printing. So on the insurance companies, how much have you seen?
Insurance companies. 50,000.
So you've been charging 15,000 for insurance companies instead of 50,000. And you're charging 150,000 for banks instead of 16 or 15,000.
Yes.
Now, where do you get those figures from? Because they're not in the published tariff.
Well, logically, I think I am lost here. Because
Why
if
are you lost?
Because if you look at the banks, if the banks would pay 15,000, and then you look at the insurance companies too, to 50,000, you look at their operations, you always find out that the banks would pay more than the insurance companies.
What do you go by
By the
to
tariff.
determine what you're charging?
By the tariff.
So if you're going by the tariff,
Yeah, but because I am seeing the same error too in the general traders too, because the first one is also 7,000. The second one is 7,000. The first one is 5,000. The second one is 7,000. So that is also inconsistent. So but by looking at them, you will be able to know that the first ones cannot be 5,000 and the second one to be 7,000 when they are on different value of goods.
so you're saying there's a defect in the tariff.
Yes.
Did you do anything about it?
No, these tariffs are, anyway, the one that I was using before, I think that one is different from the one that I have now because I have not been dealing with Lansing for some time now. But the one that I was operating before, I don't know what reference we may have, whether you have an original copy from the ministry that will be compared to this. But I am seeing some defaults in this that we are not incorporated in the previous one that I was using some years ago.
So when you prepare your tariff, what happens? This is before it's published. When you prepare your tariff, what's the process that you go through?
Well, on normal circumstances, it should be gazetted.
What's the process up to gazetting? When you prepare it, what do you do as a council?
You take it to Attorney General Skemba's office.
Okay.
You take it to the ministry first, and then the ministry will take it to Attorney General's office for gazetting.
Okay. And when it's gazetted?
When it is gazetted, it will be published. Orders will be given to us, orders will be retained at the local government, and orders will be sent to other institutions.
And it is the document that is published that is enforceable?
Yes.
Okay. So if you have a tariff, the 2011 tariff, that is gazetted, Registrar, can you please show him the gazetted copy? If you have the copy that is gazetted, what do you go by? What is gazetted or what you think is right?
You go by the one that is gazetted.
So all the charges that have been made on trade licenses that are not in accordance with the Gazette are wrong.
Yes, it should be wrong. It should be absolutely wrong because we cannot have two licenses at different rates at the same time.
Can you provide us with the tariff that you used to use, or the one that
That's the one
is in effect at the council that contains the different prices?
Are you seeing this for the first time?
Yeah, for the first time, because this is the one we use. For this one, I'm not privileged to read.
Can we see the one that you...
The one that I am using is more or less of this.
Is what, sir?
It's almost of this.
Registrar, can you give this to council? Is this not a copy of what you have?
Yes, this is what I'm, yes.
So if this is what you were using, how is it that you are charging way above what is contained in this document?
Just as I said, with the type that we were using before, the type that we are using is exactly so this one. Is this one that we were using from 2011.
So that's the gazetted one for 2011?
Yes.
And it's what is contained there?
Yes.
Okay, so that was provided to us by one of your staff.
Yeah, it's the
Now,
same.
what do you use when you're doing your estimates? Is it the Gazette or is it something else?
The Gazette one.
So if you're using the gazetted one, would you not have the correct figures when you're doing preparing your estimates?
You should be able to have your estimates.
No, when you're preparing your estimates, you said you use the Gazette. You use the gazetted tariff, right?
Yes.
So if you're using the gazetted tariff, how is it that you do not get the figures right? Because how many banks do you have in Basse?
Eco Bank, I think it's about 5.
So you have 5 banks, and you're estimating in your annual revenue estimate. You're saying you have 5 banks at $150,000 every year, right?
Yes.
When in actuality it should be 15,000 every year.
Yes.
So do you not look at the tariff when you're preparing your estimates?
We should, of course, look at this tariff.
But if you looked at the tariff, you would know that you're charging wrong.
Yes.
So do you look at the tariff or do you not look at the tariff?
You have to look at it, but then I want to...
No, do you look at, I know you have to, but do you look at the tariff or do you not look at the tariff when you're preparing your estimate?
You should look at the tariff.
Do you look at it?
Yeah, we look at it, yes.
So if you look at it, how do you get it wrong?
You should not have it wrong.
No, but you get it wrong.
Yeah,
why do you get it wrong?
Because some of these ones are overestimated and some are underestimated.
Do you have a right to charge what is not in the tariff?
No, you don't have that right.
So if for any reason any of these institutions decided that, oh, we've been overcharged by 135,000 each year, and the council says, well, it's not our fault, the person who's in charge of that has been the one charging you what they want to charge you, what happens? And say that person is you.
They can take us to court and we refund them.
I didn't say take us. Who's us?
They may take us to. They will take us to court and we pay back their money.
Who is the us? You're the one who's preparing all of this based on whatever figure it is that you have in your head.
Yes.
So who is the us that they will be taken to court?
The council.
Why the council?
Because it's the council that is that has overrated them.
And who was doing it on behalf of the council?
The license manager.
The license manager.
And
It's
the
not
TVS.
you. Oh, who's the license manager's supervisor?
I am the supervisor.
So why would it be the license manager?
Because if the license manager, has gone through this, properly, that was not how going to happen.
Who prepares the expenditure budget?
They to find and then the C and then
I thought you said you prepared.
together, yes.
So if you prepared it, why is it now the director of finance and the CEO?
Both of us prepare it.
Okay,
Sometimes,
so you're
yes.
saying both of you would be liable for the difference.
Yeah, yes.
So for the 135,000 for all the banks for the past, how many years? From
Yeah,
2018?
What I want to believe that to the banks, if they would also pay 100, because they also pay different rates. So I want to believe that if they would pay 150,
They paid different rates based on what?
based on, because sometimes they will have their assets as well. So their assets would be put, like the lands that they have with their operational fee, putting them together. I want to suspect that is what the license manager is charging them at their demand node.
So sorry.
Because you charge them on rates and taxes on their properties, at the same time you also charge them on their operational fee.
Now who do you charge rates and taxes? Do the banks own their property?
The banks.
Do they own the property that they're on?
Yes, they own the property.
They bought those properties.
Yes, they bought those properties.
How do you know that?
Because the properties are leased.
And they're leased in the bank's names.
In the bank's name, yes.
How do you know this?
Because they have been coming to pay. They have been paying.
No. Have you ever seen their lease?
No, I have not seen the but they have
So
never,
how do you know that they are leased in the bank's name?
because when they pay, they never deny to pay the properties that we are
Whether they deny, clearly, they haven't denied paying you 150,000, even though that is not what they're supposed to pay. That doesn't mean that that's what they're supposed to pay. So how do you know the properties are leased to the banks? Have you seen a lease?
because normally
Have you seen a lease?
No, I have not I have never seen their list.
Okay.
But whenever we charge them on what we evaluate them, they pay.
And what do you charge them?
No, I cannot say of that because I'm not in that area.
Can you get that information?
Okay.
So get the information that you're saying is the basis on which you charge them, the rates and taxes, and every other tax, every other levy that you charge to the banks
Okay.
in Basse.
Now, Mr. Baji, would it be correct to say that at the council you use a lot of discussion in doing your job?
Yes.
Thank you.
Just a few questions. So can you just tell me, under the finance department, you have a director of finance?
Yes.
Do you have a finance manager? Do you have a finance manager?
No.
So, because you're acting finance manager.
Yes.
So somebody else is now acting finance manager.
Yes.
But you don't have a substantive position.
No.
Do you have a marketing manager?
Yes.
Who's your marketing manager?
Mulamin Kiru.
Mula Minkiru is marketing manager, license manager, accounts clerk.
Yes. Lumo and canteens.
Are these not different? I don't
Different
know,
areas of income.
not just different areas of income. Aren't they different job titles?
Different?
Are they not different job titles?
Yeah, no, they are different job titles, but they are all under one person.
So he's doing the job of 3 people.
Yeah, because we have only one market in Basse. Only one market. And the lumos too, almost 8 lumos. Those ones are also not big lumos as that.
Okay.
So,
do you have an accountant?
yes, Mulamin Kiru.
Do you have a principal rating officer?
Principal relation officer.
Rating officer.
No, we don't have that.
Do you have a car park manager?
No, we don't have car park manager.
Do you have a principal debt collector?
No, we don't have that.
Do you have an assistant accountant?
No, we don't have that.
Licensing manager?
Yes, we have that.
And that's Modlaminkiru.
Yes. License manager, Lumo, license manager, market, Lumo, and canteens.
Do you have a senior accounts clerk?
No.
You have a cashier?
Yes, we have the cashier.
And who's the cashier?
Ndaba Kurubali.
Do you have accounts clerks?
No.
Do you have senior revenue collectors?
Yes.
Who are those?
Mandumane, Basama Jaune, Hadiba, I believe, and all. Yes, I think these are the 3.
Do you have accounts trainees?
No. Yes, we have accounts trainers, yes.
Accounts trainees.
Yes.
Who are those?
One of them at the university,
Okay. What's the person's name?
Hussein Toure.
Is a different Usaini Toure from your CEO, right?
Yeah, it's a different Hussein Toure.
And you have revenue collectors.
Yes.
Do you know how many?
Yes.
How many?
886 662 31, almost 31.
You have almost 31 revenue
yes.
collectors.
Yes.
Do you have car park attendants?
No, we don't have car park, and we don't deal with car park at our level now.
Okay. My colleague has questions.
Towards the collection, the collection of taxes from the car parks.
That one is now handed over to GRA. It is the GRA that is collecting that, and then at the end of the year they submit that to us.
Thank you.
Let's clarify it here. Do you have a car park attendant? Do you know what a car park attendant is?
Yes, I know.
What's his job?
He is responsible of issuing tickets. He is responsible of managing.
No, the park attendant is somebody who takes care of the car park.
This is what I'm coming to.
Yes.
I said the car park attendant
No,
is somebody.
wait. Let's not confuse. You don't collect from car parks.
Yes.
So you don't need somebody to be there, which we all agree. But she's saying if you have a car park attendant, what's the job of the car park attendant?
The job of the car park attendant is to make sure he monitors all the collectors at the car park.
See, sorry, you have it all wrong. The attendant is the person who takes care of a car park, make sure it's clean, etc. Somebody who does all that job is the attendant. It has nothing to do with collection.
Okay. Then I misunderstood your question. I'm sorry for that.
So after understanding that question, do you have car park attendants?
No, we don't have car park attendants.
Do you have cleaners?
Yeah, we have cleaners.
How many?
No, I can't remember that. Is how many of them?
I don't have any questions for the witness.
Mr. Baji, we will release you to provide us with the documents, and then we will take it up from there.
Okay.
All right?
Yes, I want to appeal to you, Ma, because you said I should go back and come back on Friday. I want to appeal you to give me more time because I would have to travel tomorrow, that is Thursday. And then I know if I travel tomorrow, by reaching in Basse by Friday, I will not be able to get all the required documents from the office and then come back on Friday. So I presume you give me more time so that if I go, I can be able to prepare and finally come back with all the documents that you are requesting from me.
Please communicate to the registrar. I have already given my orders.
Okay. Thank you very much for that.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Witness. Welcome to this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters. Can you hold on to this mic? I want to know, what is your religion? In which language do you want to make your testimony? Do you wish to swear by the Holy Quran or make an affirmation? Yes, of course. You want to swear by the Holy Quran? Okay. Madam Chair, the witness wishes to be sworn by the Holy Quran. Mr. Witness, please hold the Holy Quran and repeat after me. Say, I, Yaya, TBCC, do swear that I'll speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. You may be seated, please.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, the witness has been sworn.
Yes, good afternoon, madam.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Council, can we proceed?
Sure. Good afternoon, Mr. Cisse.
Yes, good afternoon, ma.
Can you tell us your names?
My name is Yaya TBCC.
Okay. Where do you live?
I live in Baseko Bakunda layout,
And what is your occupation?
civil servant.
Now, you gave a statement to the investigators of the commission, is that right?
Yes.
And you signed this statement?
Pardon?
You signed the statement?
Yes, I did sign the statement.
You read it before signing?
Yeah, I read it before signing.
Okay, let me show you the statement. Kindly look at the statement and confirm whether that is the statement that you gave.
Yes, this is the statement.
Okay. Do you adopt the statement as part of your evidence before the commission?
Yes, ma'am.
Chairperson, I apply to tender the witness statement of Yaya TBCC.
The witness statement of Yaya TBCC, dated the 16th of May 2023 and signed by the said Yaya TBCC, is hereby admitted in evidence and marked as LGC/YTBC/BSAC/001.
As the commission pleases. Agreed for. Now, Mr. Cisse, you've said that you're a planner engineer. Is this at Bassa Area Council?
Yes.
Now, are there other people in your unit?
Pardon?
Are there other staff in your unit?
Yeah, there are other technicians under the planning unit, yes.
Do you have a director of planning and development?
No, we don't have director of planning. We don't have.
Do you have a deputy? Deputy director of planning and development?
No, I am not.
Okay. Do you have a deputy planner and engineer?
No, we don't have.
Do you have assistant council engineer or work superintendent?
We don't have.
Do you have assistant work superintendent, architectural assistant, or physical planning assistant?
We have physical planning assistants, yes. Technicians.
Only physical planning assistant out of those three. Is it only the physical planning assistants you have out of those 3 that I called?
They are technicians, yes.
Okay, and who's your physical planning assistant?
No, we don't have fiscal plan assistant unless the ones deployed to the region by the government. But the council, we don't have.
So the council does not have physical planning assistant, architectural assistant, assistant work superintendent.
They are draftsmen. We
You
call
have
them technician,
draftsmen.
but they are draftsmen. According to their appointment, it's draftsmen.
Okay, how many draftsmen do you have?
Presently, we have 5 of them.
Do you know their names?
Yes.
Can you tell us?
We have Mamadou Bari.
Okay.
We have Alpha Yaya Jallo.
Okay.
We have Musa Suso.
Okay.
We have Aliou Jao.
Aliou Jao.
Aliou Jao, yes.
Okay.
We have Aida Jallo.
Okay.
And we have one support staff called Boubacar Balde.
Does he have a title? A job title?
He get into the system as a cleaner.
Okay. But he doesn't work as a cleaner anymore?
No, he's not working as a cleaner.
Okay. So do you have a foreman? A foreman?
No, we don't have appointed foremen, no.
What about tradesman?
No.
So what's the job of the draftsman?
Basically, their responsibility when they were recruited was to support the fiscal planning officers in the region in the preparation of sketches and on these land transfers and so on.
So when you say the physical planning of the region, is this central government physical planning department?
Yes, central government staff, those who are deployed to the regions.
So the draftsmen, that's the work, they do the work, or they assist central government staff. Do they do any work that's related to the council directly?
Yes, at times when I do give them assignments, works related to council, they do.
But the work that they do is mostly related to central government physical planning work.
Yeah, because when I joined Area Council, my first appointment, I was directed, I was attached to the fiscal planning officer. That is what was on my appointment.
Okay.
So these people too, when they were being recruited, they were brought on the fiscal planning unit under the supervision of the fiscal planning officers.
So maybe if I explain, I'm trying to understand the distinction
Yes.
between the central government role and the council's role.
Yes.
This physical planning department, is it within the council?
Yeah, they are housed in the council,
Okay, they're housed in the
and we are working together as a team. Yes.
Okay, so you're both council and central government.
Yes, we are all housed in the same
Are you
place.
paid by both council and central government?
No, the fiscal planning officer and the assistant are paid by government, but myself and the technicians are paid by council.
Council, okay. Now, what is your role as planner engineer at the council?
Yes, my role as planner and engineer is to supervise, monitor, and advise council on some of the technical issues relating to development.
Do you know whether the council has a development committee?
Yes, they have a development subcommittee.
Are you on that committee?
Yes.
So, what is your role and what is the role of that committee?
First of all, the role of that committee is to, on periodic, visit project sites to look at projects and give their report to the management.
So does the committee come up with any projects, suggest projects to the council?
Pardon?
Does the committee suggest any projects to the council? As in, do you come up with projects that you think that the that Basse needs and come up with it to the council or suggest it to the council?
Well, not the committee will suggest projects to the council, but the wards will bring their projects through the chairman to the council for implementation.
And what's your role when the wards bring the projects to the council?
Right. First of all, my role as far as these projects are concerned is that when these ward councillors collect the ward plans, they will send them through the chairman, and these files will be submitted to my office for compilation. So when these plans are compiled, then the subcommittee of the budget subcommittee will look at these plans and cost them.
So where there's supposed to be a procurement that involves some construction, you would be involved in the costing of the BOQ?
Most of them will come with the cost. And this, when they come with cost, the procurement officer will do the necessary procurement procedures.
No, so I'm asking, the ward, you're saying that the councillors or the ward committee, is it, will come up with the cost for the BOQ?
Yes, some of them will estimate a cost. For instance, if it is a milling machine, they will say this amount. But when the committee sits and finds out that what they have costed is either high or is low, then they look at those ones, then finally compile them.
So do they involve you in any of that?
Yes,
in the costing?
Yes, I'm in that committee, yes.
Okay. Now, you said something in your statement about the Ward Development Committee and the budget. Can you tell us what your relationship is or what your role is in the budget preparation of the council?
My role there as a technician or as an engineer, I will be asked to look at some of the infrastructure projects and quantify them and add it to the budget that council is preparing every year.
So you look at the infrastructure projects that council is suggesting for the upcoming year.
Yes.
Are you involved in their, is it 3 to 5 year plan for development plan?
No, this is not three to 5 year plan. We have annual work plans.
Yes, but I'm asking, are you involved in the one for the 3 to 5 year plans for the council?
Well, we don't prepare 3 to 4 year plans. We have our strategic plan.
Okay.
Yes, as a guide. But annually we will prepare our annual work plan as a guide for that particular year.
So can you take us the steps through the preparation of the annual work plan?
Yes. Basically, the annual work plan will have to identify that year which particular projects you're going to implement. So myself and the development subcommittee will organize a meeting and will prepare this annual work plan for council and submit to the management.
Sorry, how many of you are on the development subcommittee?
Development subcommittee is about 6 to 7 members.
And who are those members?
I think I can remember some. Honorable Yuba Jawara is the chairman to that committee.
Yuba or Buba?
Yuba.
Yuba.
Yes.
Jawara.
Yes,
Okay.
is the chairman to that committee.
Okay.
Then you have Honorable Omar Gari, former councillor. These are former councillors.
Okay.
Then you have Ibrahima Danso, is also a member.
Okay.
Then you have Ibrahima Mane, also a member.
Okay.
Yes, these are some of the names I can remember who are members to this committee.
So you're saying...
And I'm also part of the committee.
Okay.
Myself, yes.
The councillors that are the former councillors.
Yes, former councillors.
Are they currently members
No,
of
no,
the
no.
committee?
None of them is there at the moment.
So, how many people are on the committee currently?
Currently, I'm not aware of the committee that is formed, and I'm not a member. I'm not invited yet. Because last council I was written that you are hereby informed to be part of the development subcommittee. But this year, when this new council came, I've never attended any of their meetings.
And when was this that the new council came? As in, can you remember the month?
I think it was in May,
May.
June, yes.
So
This
prior
year.
to May, did the committee sit this year? Prior to the new councillors coming in?
No, they have not sat for long.
What about last year? Did it sit last year?
Yeah, last year they sat, yes. Because we visited so many times and we compiled our reports.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I had cut you off. You were explaining what happens after you call the meeting for to discuss. Can you continue from there?
Pardon?
I said I had cut you off. You were explaining what happens. You had gotten to the point where you called the councillors for a meeting. Sorry, the members for a meeting.
Oh, it's not me who called the councillor for a meeting. It's the chairperson who will summon meetings and inform all members to attend this important meeting.
Okay.
Yes.
And then what happens when you hold a meeting? What would be, who determines what the agenda for the meeting is?
Yeah, sometimes we look at the criteria of site to be visited. We identify site to be visited. If we cannot go to all the site and the other logistics like fuel, then the vehicle that we're going to use, then from there we take off.
So in 2022,
Yes.
did you visit any sites?
Yes.
Can you tell us which ones?
We visited Sarabojo, Feeder Road project. I
Okay.
cannot remember the dates, but it was part of the site that we have visited.
Okay.
We visited Bajakunda Bridge.
Okay.
We visited Sambalolo.
Okay.
We visited Sonkunda Bridge.
So what?
Sonkunda.
Okay.
And we visited the Alunhara footbridge, Alunhara.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what was the purpose of this visit?
The purpose is to look at the status of those works and then report to council.
So this visit was at a time that the works had commenced?
Yeah, some of them have completed.
Okay. So some completed, some commenced. So do you know which year they were commenced? Do you know whether it's 2020, 2021?
Yes, that of Sonkunda, Bajakunda, and Sambalolo started in June 2021.
Okay. So before the work started, did you visit the sites?
Yeah, before the work started, yes, I was assigned by the General Council to visit these sites and give them a report.
So where were you going? Where were you assigned to report on?
To look at the ground, the feasibility of those environments and give them report.
Okay. And so what did you find on the ground? I'm assuming that the report would be based on, or it would involve you informing them whether the projects are viable for those areas, right?
Yes.
Okay, so can you tell us how that went?
Yes. So after getting the logistic, the vehicle, I went to all these sites. I visited them and prepared a report for council.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, one of the contractors that was contracted to prepare one of the, I think it was the bridge, Green Vision. Are you familiar with them?
Green Vision, yes.
At some point in the procurement, they had needed to carry out extra works. Are you aware of that?
Yes, Green Vision, yes, I could remember after the work went up to maybe around 75%, they informed us that there is a portion that need more concrete work. So before they do that, that will cost an extra cost on council. So before they do it, they ask if they can carry on with it. Because the supervisor, the consultant informed me.
Okay. So did you check to verify Green Vision's claim?
Yeah, we went to the site. I went with the consultant to the site to see what actually they're talking about. So I visited the site.
And did you confirm what they said, that they would need to do extra works for that area?
Yes, I did confirm, yes.
And you reported to council?
Yes, I reported back to council.
So can I just ask, you have a consultant, the council has a consultant that they use for certain works?
Yes, for these projects, before we start this project, we identify somebody to be used as a consultant to supervise and monitor.
Can you tell us who that consultant is?
His name?
Yes.
Is Yankuba Balde.
It's Yankuba Balde. And do you know how the council identified him?
Yes, I can give you the little that I understand as far as his consultancy is
Yes.
it's all about. Yes.
Please do so.
Thank you. Before thinking of hiring Yankuba Balde as our consultant, as far as councils are concerned, we know very well government has an institution, that is the Ministry of Works. So that is NRA, who leads all institutions with this infrastructure works. So I could remember there was a day the management discussed to inform NRA about these capital projects. In fact, there was a letter to that effect to NRA to send somebody to look at how these projects before we start. Okay. So at one point, they sent a letter to council that we should liaise with one gentleman at NRA called Mr. Chapman.
Okay.
His telephone number was there. Then this letter was given to me by the CEO to contact Mr. Chapman if there will be any possibility of their personnel coming to the ground to see it at these works.
Okay.
We made several follow-up, but unfortunately we could not get them. Because there was a time we were discussing with this gentleman who's supposed to come. I cannot remember the name because it's a little bit long time.
Okay.
So when I was communicating with them, he said he did not have the logistics to come. He said we have to hire a vehicle. Sorry, we have to take our vehicle from Basse to come down to Combo to collect him and take him, do all that is needed to look at the project, to look at the sites, then come back at our expense.
Okay.
Later, we realized that, we are struggling with finance, so it's getting too much. So why do we have to do all that? We did suggest to him if he can pay the bus service to come, we will look at a place for him to be lodged, but all that went futile. So eventually, at one point, we were getting frustrated. We said, wow, why can't we look for another option to see if there's any other qualified personnel that can be able to supervise these works? So see, this is where the issue of Yankuba Balde came to our mind, because then Yankuba was working with GAMWorks as one of the supervisors at one of the projects in Basse. So we contacted him and we asked him to bring his credentials so that we look at whether he can do the work. Then that's how Yankuba was, we were able to get him on board as consultant.
So there was no tender process or anything like that to get a supervisor?
There was no tender.
Consultant.
As far as I know, there was no tender.
Okay. And so does he still work with GAMWorks? Or did he still work with GAMWorks at the time that you...
He would not directly working with GAMWorks, but an institution called Master Plan. They are consultant to most of these government projects. So he was working with Master Plan, according to him.
Okay.
Yes.
So what happened? Did the council give him a contract?
Yes, we signed an MOU with him.
Okay.
Yes.
And who prepared the MOU? Do you know?
He prepared the MOU.
He prepared it?
Brought it to council. Then we looked at it. Then when we were satisfied, when we signed the MOU.
So he was to supervise all the council's projects?
Yeah, this capital project particularly, these projects I've mentioned.
Okay.
Yes.
And how was the council to pay him?
He did agree, as far as the MOU is concerned, there's an amount agreed, and council agreed to paying him on installments while the project is going on.
So I just want to know, you said something about budget constraints. So when you were preparing for these projects, when it was discussed at council and at the committee level, your committee level, were you told anything about the budget?
The budget, like?
As in, were you informed of how council would pay for these projects?
How council is going to fund these projects?
Yes.
Yes, of course, yes. I was informed by the management how council is going to fund these projects.
Okay, when you say the management, who do you mean?
The management, that is the CEO, chairman, the director of finance.
And what did they say? How did they say council was going to fund it?
Well, I think at one of our meetings, we were informed at the management that we do not have enough money to go in for these projects, but they will look for means to partner with two of the banks to finance these projects.
So are you aware of the cost of these projects?
The cost?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us how much the projects cost?
The total projects?
Yes.
I may not be able to calculate the total of it, but I can give you brief, at least some of their cost per project side.
Yes, okay.
Yes. Sonkunda is around 4.8 million. Sonkunda Bridge.
Okay.
And Sambalolo is about 4.18 million.
Okay.
And Bajakunda is about 3 point something.
Okay.
And Sarabojo Feeder Road is about 2 point something.
It's about what?
Sarabojo Feeder Road.
Did you say 2 point or 3 point?
Sarabojo.
Yes, how much?
I said around 2.9 million or something like that. I'm sorry, these are figures I might have forgotten, but.
And what about the Alon Harry Bridge?
The Alon Hartford Bridge is around 600 and something thousand.
So do you know whether the council ever got the partnership with the banks to fund the projects?
Excuse me?
Do you know whether the council ever got the funds for the project? You said that they were going to partner with the banks.
Yes. Of course, I was informed at one point that council was able to secure loan from Supersonic and Vista Bank to finance these projects.
So when you went in 2022, were any of these projects completed?
2022, yes.
Which ones?
Sonkunda, Sambalolo, and Bajakunda were completed.
And they were completed to satisfaction?
Yes, they were completed to satisfaction.
And what about in 2023 when you went? Which ones were completed?
2020, end of 2022, Sarabojo also was completed.
Is that the one that Green Vision?
No. Green Vision is Bajakunda.
Okay.
Yes. The contractor for Sarabojo submitted for completion. We went there with the committee, when they developed some committee, but we had some issues on the ground, so there was no payment. Up till now, they are still looking for their payment.
Who was the contractor for Sarabojo?
Sarabojo is Golden Quarry.
What were the issues on the ground?
There were some points around the iris crossings that were not properly leveled for water to flow out.
Sorry, there were some points at what?
Around the iris crossings. There were iris crossings.
Okay.
That were constructed, but they were not properly open, connected to the water channel that's supposed to have the water flow properly. So, and there are other some places that need to be concreted. We are not concreted. So those are some of the issues on the ground. Yes. This is Sarabojo Feeder Road. Sarabojo Feeder Road. Golden Quarry. So, yes, when we visited the site, after when the request for payment, when we visited the site, we found there are some issues.
It's on. Is this the one that was costing about 2.9 million?
Yes, Sarabojo.
Yes, you can continue. Yes, you were explaining that it has some issues.
Yeah, it has some issues. So when we visited the site, we reported to the council there are some issues. Unless those issues are cleared, no payments should be made.
So up to date, the project is not concluded.
Yeah, that's where we stopped since then, because there was no money to pay them, and they still also don't go to site to do those improvements, as far as we are concerned.
So, when you went to the site to visit, did you go with the contractor?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Mr. Cisse.
Yes.
So it means that the project has been abandoned.
It's not been abandoned.
Okay. Before you come to that, who designed the Irish crossings? Who made the designs?
The Irish crossings.
Yes.
When the contractor applied for this project.
No, wait. Who made the design? Because a contractor must work with a design.
Yes.
Not so.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Now, who made the design?
The Irish crossings?
Mm-hmm.
No, there was no design.
There was no design.
Yes.
Now, so you are saying that the levels were not good.
Yes.
Don't you think that because there was no design, so the levels will never be taken accurately? I'm talking to you as an engineer.
You're right.
Yes. And who was supervising the works?
I was supervising plus the consultant.
Yes. Why didn't you manage to ensure that there are proper levels to allow for the flow of water through the Irish crossings? As there were two consultants, how did you manage that to escape you?
Sorry, there were no two consultants anyway.
Who and who were supervising the works?
Yes, I was part of the supervision.
And who else?
And the consultant.
And the consultant?
Yes.
So there were two of you?
Okay, yes.
Not so?
Yes, yes.
Now, how did you manage to have lost the project?
I'm sorry, but I don't think we have lost the project.
No, okay. How did you manage to supervise a project without proper levels, as important as an Irish crossing?
Yes, you are right. That's very important. But we have not lost the project. The project is serving the people it is meant for, but we have not lost it.
No, you've lost it because the project is not completed. It's not been handed over. The levels are not good.
Yeah, those are some of the issues we found on the ground, and we reported that to council.
To council?
So that is why they are still not been paid.
Now, Mr. Cisse, is it not the council that prepared the bidding document
Yes.
for the contractor to bid for that project?
Yes.
So were you not part of those people that contributed in putting together the bid document?
Yes, I was part of the team who prepared the bidding documents.
So during the course of review, you could not also see that the Irish crossings were not there?
No, on the bidding document, the Irish crossings were not there. They were indicated, wordly indicated in the bidding document that there should be this number of Irish crossings.
You said it was?
It was written that there was this number of Irish crossings should be there.
Yeah.
It's in my report that I wrote when I visited the site before the starting of the road. This is what I indicated.
Let me come back.
Yes, but then if it was in the bidding document, why would it not be executed on, you understand, during the course of the project, if it is contained in the bid document? Because it's something that the contractor has contracted to do.
Yeah, that must be having been an oversight by the planning unit.
By the what?
By the planning unit.
Who chairs the planning unit?
Me.
You are the chair of the
Yeah,
planning unit.
I'm the chair.
So it escaped you, and it's also escaped the consultant.
Yeah, it might have escaped the consultant.
You can prove.
Let's go back a bit.
Thank you.
There were bidding documents prepared.
Yes.
How did you get the cost without a design? How did you cost the project? And there was no design.
Frankly, as far as these projects are concerned, I was not having that technical know-how at the beginning. So it's one of my...
Kindly repeat that.
These are infrastructural projects I've never gone through before. And prior to the starting of these projects, I had a friend, a Ghanaian, who was guiding me. And during my feasibility studies to go to this site, is the one who assisted me. And this is how I was able to compile those informations.
Okay. Is that correct? Is that correct? Can you just get a friend to help you to manage public funds? Is that the way things should be done?
Well, I don't think it's to manage the public funds.
The cost, the monies that were used to build the Irish crossings, are they not public funds?
Yes, they are public funds.
They are public funds.
Yes.
Now, when you didn't have the expertise, you went ahead and said you look for a friend to help you.
Yes.
Now, whom do you hold accountable now? Is it your friend or yourself?
It's myself.
Thank you. Let's proceed. We have other questions that will come on.
Thank you.
When you are ready with the council. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Do you go over the BOQ?
Yes, I went over the BOQ when it was prepared.
And you certify the amount that the BOQ stated as the amount of money needed to do the project?
Yes.
Now, when supervising the project, when do you go to the site?
Honorable, let me observe. There was no BOQ. BOQ is based on design, not so.
Yes.
Yes, so why should you say there was a BOQ? There was none.
There was a BOQ.
Based on which design?
There must have been a design.
There must have been a design.
Yeah, there must have been a design.
But now there is a design.
Yes.
Can we see the design? Can you look for it and you bring it? Is that possible?
Yeah, I can go through the documents, please.
Yeah, but now can you withdraw that there was a design?
There was a design.
There was
a design.
Okay, now we are on the same page now. There was a design.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
My question was,
yes,
when do you visit these projects? How often do you visit these projects?
Sometimes on weekly basis, sometimes in 2 weeks, after 2 weeks.
And you do that up till completion?
Yeah, up to the stage. For all these projects, you mean, or for that of Sarabojo? All of the projects?
The projects that you are supervising?
Yes.
You do go there weekly or daily until it is finished?
Yes, I do go there weekly, sometimes every 2 weeks until it is completed.
Now, do you give out a certificate of completion?
No, we don't give certificate of completion.
You don't?
No.
If there is a cost overrun, would you know?
If there's a cost over.
On the project, would you know?
I don't understand.
If a project is costing 10,
yes,
and the guy said it's now 15, we are going up to 15, and you had projected according to your BOQ to do it at 10, would you know?
No, you will not know. But that happened only in that of the Bajakunda bridge, but the rest have not. We have not realized that.
And everything was completed based on the project amount?
Yes.
And you were satisfied?
Yes, we were satisfied.
Now, why don't you give out certificate of completion to the contractor?
Well, it was only that of a Green Bison. I could remember after the completion, after some months, they said they sent a personnel to Area Council asking for certificate of completion, and he was issued. They were issued. But the rest were not given any certificate of completion.
Do you know why they were insisting that they wanted a certificate of completion?
No.
Is it not that those that you have not issued certificate of completion
yes,
can come back and claim?
No, they cannot.
They cannot. Why?
Because they were not given any certificate of completion.
Because they were not given. The
yes,
certificate of completion is to say you bidded for lot 1
yes,
for 10 and you finish the lot at 10.
Yes.
So I need to have a certificate from you, the employer, that I have done my work.
Exactly, yes.
And you still don't give out certificate of completion?
No, we don't.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Karim, we'll come back.
So, Mr. Sise, when you went to inspect the site for the Sarabojo?
Yes.
Did you go with the contractor?
The contractor was there and the consultant.
Okay, so when you were observing the things that you said were wrong about the site, you communicated to the contractor?
We communicated to him.
And what was his response?
The response was that they will adjust. They were still insisting they need some money so that they can continue to do the rest, but we said unless that work is done, if not, they will not be given any money.
So how were they paid? Was it in stages?
They were paid in installment, yes,
Okay,
in percentage basis.
It would depend on a certain percentage of completion?
Yes.
Okay, so when you went to inspect at this time, it was when they had told you they'd completed?
Yes.
Or at what stage was it?
Yeah, they reported that they have completed. So when we went there, we found that, there are still some areas to be adjusted. So
if they had completed and they wanted you to come and inspect to
Yes.
ensure that they had completed.
For final payment, yes.
Right, and then you pointed out all those issues.
Yes.
They said they would need additional funds?
No, they were saying part of the amount that need to be paid as their last payment, let them be given something so that they can adjust those ones.
But they were supposed to have completed.
Yes, and request for the last payment.
Okay.
Apart from the 5% retention.
So the works that were incomplete or that weren't completed properly, according to you,
Yes.
how substantial were they?
Of course, they are important to us because we realized that they're supposed to be done and they were not done.
Okay.
Yes.
So you had said the Irish something.
Irish crossings.
Irish crossing. And what else?
And there are some portions that need to have concrete works.
Some portions needed to have concrete floors.
Yes, concrete works.
So it's a road project, right?
It's a road project.
Wasn't most of it concreted? As in, what was the material they were supposed to use to make the road?
Pardon?
What materials were they supposed to use to make the road?
Laterite.
Laterite.
Yes.
And some portions concrete.
Yes.
The portions that were not concrete, how big was it? Or how substantial?
Well, it wasn't that much. We pointed them out during our visit, together with the help of the community, and drains. There are some side drains that also need to be opened so that water can easily flow.
Okay.
So these were the things that we are missing. So
how much money was outstanding? What was the final amount you were supposed to pay them?
I think it was around 25% of the cost, because 5% was retention. They were given 40%, 30%, and 20% was the last payment, plus the 5% retention. I cannot remember the figure offhand.
So did they eventually fix the things that you had pointed out?
No, they didn't.
And they haven't been paid the 20%?
Not yet.
Or the 5%?
Not yet, to my knowledge.
When did you say they completed? December 2022?
Last year, around September.
September. So when did you inspect? Was it September as well?
Yeah, it's the same September.
So the people are using the road like that?
Yeah.
And what about the Bajakunda Bridge?
Bajakunda Bridge.
You said it was completed.
Yes, it was completed.
And that one was to your satisfaction?
Yes.
The contractors had said they provided free amenities. They had provided solar lights. Is that true?
Yeah, they have provided solar lights.
Was that all?
They concreted a portion before the bridge and after the bridge.
Was that part of the contract?
Initially, that was not part of the contract.
So was that something that the council ended up paying for, or was that free?
Yeah, they did ask for payment for those portions concreted. Apart from the solar light, the concrete work they done that was extra cost they requested.
Do you know how much extra cost that was?
Yeah,
or have an idea?
Around 190-something thousand.
Was that the extra work that they had asked, that they had written to the council about?
Yes.
Okay. So tell us about the Sambalolo Bridge.
Sambalolo, yes, Sambalolo is also completed.
Who was the contractor?
It's the Chinese, Longjong, the company called Longjong.
Was that the only work that they did?
They make two. The other one is Sonkunda. These are the two bridges.
Both of them completed?
They were both completed.
So you said the Sambalolo was 4.8 million, about?
4.1, around 4.1.
4.18, and then Sonkunda, I think, was 4.8?
Around 4.8, yes.
Let me just confirm something. So both of them were completed?
Both of them were completed.
And when did you visit to confirm this?
This was around 2021 September. Because for them, they completed before the 6 months contract period.
So 2021?
Yes.
For both of them?
Yeah, for both of them.
And what about the Alunhari one?
The Alunhari one started lately. That one was 2022. Contract was signed, but because there was no funding, it started off late.
Sorry, I apologize. I was looking at something else. Can you repeat what you said?
Yes, I said Alunhari one started off late because there were funding issues, so it started off late.
When you say off late, when was it? When did it start?
Alunhari one around January 2022, February, yes.
And it's still ongoing, or it's completed?
It's completed.
When was it completed?
It was last year around September.
And that's the one that was done by Alcamba, was it? Who was the contractor?
Silla Construction.
Okay. Silla Construction. Do you know anything about the Manekunda Road project?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us about that?
Yes, Manekunda Road was part of the infrastructure that we plan to embark on. But due to inadequate funding, we could not go in for it. But of course, the contractor that bidded for it, the contractor who won the bid, the contract, we are engaged and we signed with them a contract agreement. But since we could not have funding, that work was suspended.
So when the council is deciding to get into these infrastructure projects, do they not verify first that they have funding before they start the procurement process?
Actually, I was informed that council is in consultation with their funding partners, so we have to go, proceed to advertise these projects and get the contractors.
Who are council's foreign partners?
Oh, the banks.
So the banks are not foreign.
Pardon?
So the banks, how are they foreign?
No, I've not said foreign. I said partners, funding partners.
Oh, funding partners.
Yes.
Okay, I apologize.
Yes.
I heard wrong. So at the time that they're going ahead with the projects, do they have the loans secured?
The loans were not secured. They were on negotiations.
So what is the guarantee that they would get the loans?
Well, I think the management must have assurance from the banks that they will get these funds.
So the Manekunda Road project was floated for $18,453,000.
Yes.
Now, the management assured the committee that they would get the funds for that.
Well, they were looking for funds. They said the bank will give them loans to get this work done.
Now, do you know whether the council collects this amount of money annually, or whether they collected this amount of money in 2021?
Whether council collected huge amount of money for these projects?
Yes, their revenue based. Do you know whether they collected? So they floated 5 lots within that same period. I'm sure you're aware of them,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And I think the total amount came to about $32 million is odd.
Yes.
Let me just confirm. Do you know whether the council collects that much money in revenue?
No, council cannot collect that revenue. Cannot be able to collect that revenue because I know the revenue base, even there the revenue is there, but the collection sometimes is very poor.
Now, does the council have assets?
Council have assets?
Yes.
Yes, we have assets, we have lands, properties.
And do you have a register for those lands and properties?
We have registered them.
You have registered them?
Yes, we have registered them.
Who keeps the register? Who keeps the register of the properties that council has?
For the land documents, some of them are photocopied with me and the CEO. But the assets, generally the assets of council were with the finance.
Okay, can I see the land documents that you have with you?
No, I have not come with them.
Oh, I thought you said you had them.
Yeah.
So can you provide us with the land documents relating that council has? I think someone will give you a pen.
Our properties.
Yes.
Yes, I can provide.
Assistant Registrar, can you provide him with a pen and paper so he can note these down? And you said the assets, the other assets, who has the list? The CEO?
No, these are land documents.
Yes, so you said you have the land documents.
Yeah, of recent, I've created a file for assets.
Okay, so can you provide all those?
My diary is here. You got a diary? Yes, please. Yes, which one?
The assets and the land documents. So the register, the assets register and the land register that you have, is it complete? Is it all the assets and all the lands that the council owns?
Well, it's not complete because last month or month before last, I was informed by the acting CEO that it's part of the audit queries to have our lands registered. So it was month before last and last month we embarked on an exercise to see our lands that we are not registered are registered. Okay. So the asset data might not be completed because there are still some few lands that are not yet registered.
So can you provide us also with the details of the ones that are not registered?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Sise, as chair of the development committee,
yes.
Don't you have your planned activity in the budget of the year?
Yes, we do have.
Yes. Then why did you concur with management to go on projects when you do not have the money, nor did you plan for it in your budget?
Well, these particular projects I've mentioned, we are part of the activity for that particular year, for 2021.
Okay.
Was captured as program that we'll embark on. Okay. Yes.
So who gave them the cost, the actual cost for all these projects?
I gave them the cost.
For all the projects?
Yes.
So you costed them?
Yes.
Aside from the Bajakunda Bridge,
yes,
for all of the projects, have you paid extra cost in the finalization of the projects?
No, not to my knowledge.
The Bajakunda Bridge is the one that was done by Green Vision, right?
It was the one done by Green Vision, yes.
So apart from that, but there is another one that you said have the issue of non-completion.
That is the Sarabojo Feeder Road.
Yes.
Yes.
So would you not incur additional cost in that?
No, it will not, because it has been made clear to the contractor the work need to be done is within the cost that is agreed. It's not going be above the agreed amount of the project.
But my colleague has said that if you had budgeted or if you had you understand, a proper BOQ done,
yes,
you should not have had problems, right?
Yes.
And then if what is remaining to be paid can sustain the activity that is remaining, why are you not pursuing the contractor to finish the job?
We have been following the contractor to do the remaining work, but the contractor also insisted that unless they are paid, so...
But you already had funding, right? So where is the balance of the money that you have?
Well, all these monies were not safe in the bank, whereby you have to go, when the contractor requests. Most of the time, contractor will be requesting for payments for weeks or for months without being paid because council did not have the money.
So do you think that is a sustainable way of doing these projects?
It's not.
So what is your advice to council?
My advice to council will be that in whatever
what
project...
What advice did you give to council?
the advice I gave to council.
Yes, since you said it is not a sustainable way of doing these projects.
Yes, before my advice came was a little bit late whilst we have get into the projects. But I mean for the subsequent one that we are preparing for, that's where I gave advice in order not to, repeat the same scenario that we come from.
Prior to these 2021 projects that you earmarked in your budget.
Yes.
Did you execute any projects?
Before these ones?
Yes, before 2021. Let's say 2019, 2018.
We did not go in for many, no, we don't have any capital projects apart from the maintenance of the Kabakama footbridge. Because the rest, as far as I know, we have projects that were done by GAM Works. We also have a construction, that is the shed for women, the fish vendor shed called Sandika. Council was also venturing into that project.
That was when was it implemented?
It was started in 2022, but it's still not completed. Because we are focusing on
I'm referring to projects that you might have done in 2018 or 2019.
In 2018 or 2019?
Yes.
So maybe counterpart contributions to projects that were done by GAMWorks. I can remember some, I know some of those.
Can you bring us details, and then you let us also have the counterpart funding that council paid towards those projects?
Yes, they were, those were submitted
to the commission.
To the commission.
We will check.
Thank you.
Thank you. Council, Council, I think it's almost past. Oh.
No, sorry, ma. Just a last question. Mr. Cisse.
Yes, sir.
You have a contractual agreement with the contractor.
Yes.
Now, you are at a stalemate. You are at a stalemate. You don't know what to do. The contractor is saying, give me money, I'll complete the work. You are saying that, no, you have to complete the work. We're not going to give you money. Did you refer back to the contract document to see what you should do? Did you refer back to the contract document that was signed between you and the contractor to come up with a solution? Because you must move forward.
Yes. No, well, we have not done that because at that moment, especially for the Sarabojo one, because that was the last one that we still need to pay, but we couldn't pay because we still don't have money to pay them, frankly.
No, wait. I'm just talking of this particular project whereby you have insisted that the work should be done.
Yes.
Because you have paid for it.
Yes.
Now, did you refer back to the contract document to look at what you should do legally so that the project moves forward? Did you look at that?
No, I didn't do that.
You didn't look at that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, are you aware of the provision of the law with respect to the planning functions of the council?
Whether I am aware?
Are you aware of the provision? What the provision of the law says with respect to the planning functions of the council, such as you providing a comprehensive plan, including all the wards in their development endeavors. Do you have that?
No.
Do you realize that it's contained in the Local Government Act?
Yes, I once went through the scheme of service.
Yeah.
Yes, of the councils. Yes.
So what did the scheme of service say?
I've seen the hierarchy from the director of planning, deputy director of planning, coming down to the role I'm playing as planner and engineer, and other officers that need to be under that portfolio.
Now, you said you have a diploma at GTTI on construction.
Yes.
And we have seen that you have been promoted to the level of overseeing the position of Director of Planning at the Council.
Yes.
Do you think you can effectively take over this responsibility and execute the duties assigned to that portfolio efficiently?
Yes, ma, because I was expecting to go for capacity building in order to be able to man this responsibility to the best of my ability.
Yes, but you said you started working at the area council since 1996.
Yes.
Why didn't you pursue that objective?
The opportunity was not available because I could remember around 2008 when this Canadian program came to GTTI. I applied and I got admission, but I could not have funding from council to pursue that course.
But
So I continue to engage council for funding.
But now my question is, you are now overseeing the position of director
Yes.
of planning.
Yes.
And you've just told this commission that you had a Ghanaian friend that helped you.
Yes.
Do you think that will be sustainable going into the future in terms of executing projects like the ones already done without having some challenges?
Of course, there are challenges. I said unless I upgrade myself, but if not, that's going to be very challenging.
So do you think it will be wise for the council to offer you the position of the director of planning?
Well, when I did the interview for this position, I in fact applied for director of planning at the Ministry of Local Government through the Service Commission. But after the interview, well, I was shortlisted with some other people. So when I went for interview, it was after the interview results, I was given this promotion as planner and engineer, but not the director of planning, pending after having my bachelor's, so that they can promote me to that position.
So the position will wait for you to complete your bachelor's degree?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Council, I believe that this is a convenient point to stop for lunch.